My name is Angel Castillo. That's right, my name is Angel, and being a guy named Angel, it kind of sucks, because usually when I introduce myself to people, they end up thinking of one of two things when they hear the name Angel. They either think of the vampire, who's Buffy's boyfriend, or they think of the gay Puerto Rican with AIDS from Rent. So either way, they hear my name and they think, this isn't a guy I should be bleeding around. I will wait for you to make the connection between blood and AIDS and vampires. So, as you can see, I decided to pursue stand-up comedy, and it was kind of a natural path for me to explore because I grew up in a family of smartasses. Just the other day, I was talking to my dad, and I said, "Hey, Dad, I did a comedy show," and right afterwards, somebody actually came up to me just to tell me how funny I was. And my dad responded, "Oh, really? What else did your mother say to you?" Yeah, this isn't a joke. During the latter years of high school, I was actually a trained professional wrestler. I wrestled in Florida, Alabama, and Georgia. I actually got trained by the same guy who trained several current WWE superstars. But my parents weren't very keen on that. They weren't very supportive. They really didn't like that. Then I switched into stand-up comedy, and then all of a sudden they became really supportive, really encouraging. They really got behind me. So basically the message they were sending me was, okay, go ahead, you can have a cocaine problem, just don't grab other guys' asses while you're doing it. My family is full of interesting personalities, like my Uncle Pepe. My Uncle Pepe immigrated from Cuba not too long ago, and he had a lot of problems learning English, especially how to curse properly. Like one day at his construction job, a coworker turned to him and said, "Man, Pepe, today's hot like a motherfucker, isn't it?" You know, and my Uncle Pepe wanted to fit in, you know, sound like he knew how to speak English correctly, so later that day he found another friend of his, turned to him and said, "Man, today it is hot like I fucked your mother, no?" This is the first part of my set where I forget what I'm telling. Okay, here we go. From today on, I'm going to officially start referring to instant ramen noodles as Chinese milk. So I'm going to let you all know what it is. Right. So I used to be a real big gym rat my freshman year. I used to go to the gym a lot, and then I completely stopped. And I tried going back, but it just became too much of a blow to my ego. Because, you know, when I first was working out, you know, when I was first, you know, getting in the gym, I was one of those guys who would get really into his workout, and he'd be like screaming. You know, one of those guys on the lat machines like, "No! Fuck yeah!" And now when I do it, and I try and go back, I'm screaming still, but it's more kind of like a, "Oh, cheeseburger, you don't hurt. Why do they say you're the one that's not good for me?" Cheeseburger. So yeah, I started a fantasy football team not to just now, and I'm really excited because my first round draft pick was a unicorn. That wasn't the punchline, which means that joke failed at being a joke. Alright, where do I go from here? I'm just totally not caring tonight. So there's this group called Swingers, and I went to the first meeting of the term, and I was wondering why everybody kept getting angry at me when I asked them if they would let me fuck their girlfriends. Turns out it's a dance club. How was I supposed to know? Actually, I just did. I did take the introductory lessons they were giving out just now. So after the show, if you guys have time, I probably should stop by. It's pretty fun. They teach both Coast and East Coast swing, which is, I'm glad that they've managed to transcend the decades of gang violence that stemmed from the East Coast-West Coast rivalry. Oh, some people actually got that. Back to the real jokes. So, I have a female friend who's a sexual abuse peer advisor. That's another thing you can be here in Dartmouth. Things you can be. And she's also a vegan, which means she's against both battered women and battered shrimp. So the swine flu hysteria continues to persist, and I am 100% convinced that the whole swine flu thing is completely engineered by the media with the express purpose of generating ratings revenue. Because if you just look at the name for it, H1N1, it's very obvious that they're setting it up for a sequel. I'm really looking forward to next year when we get H1N2. This little piggy went to market and killed everyone! I'm gonna end my set with this now. I hope to have children eventually someday, and I will let them play video games, but I'm gonna make sure specifically that they don't play RPGs. And this is why. If they get into a fight on the playground, I don't want this ending up, I don't want my kid being the guy who's like, oh, you wanna go? Okay, you wanna start? Okay, wait, let me get my 20-sided dice. Okay, we'll roll to see who gets first attack. Oh, stop it! Stop, you don't have enough action points to attack it. Stop. I'm gonna report you to the server mod. And then he has to spend the next week in the tall bushes killing warthogs just to level up. Alright, so apparently enough people in this room have regular sex to not get the RPG jokes.